Welcome to Asia 353 Introduction to Hindi Film. This week's topic is nation building in independent India. I'll discuss today the idea of nationalism and nation building in the early years of independence and the role of Bollywood in promoting these ideas. At the end, I'll also take in little more details the film Mother India, which is part of the syllabus. As I mentioned in the introduction to last week's lecture on Raj Kapoor, that in the early years after independence, the Indian film industry took charge of propagating the idea of nation building and nationalism through feature films. The first Prime Minister, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, knew the potential of the film media and requested the filmmakers to take part in nation building through making films on themes like nationalism, patriotism, nation building, socialism, social utopias, etc. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting appealed to the Indian film producers and directors to share the responsibility of nation building, and the filmmaker gladly accepted this role. It was the time when the feeling of patriotism was very high. India had newly gained independence. The Britishers had left. The enthusiasm for self-rule, the enthusiasm for creating your own destiny, such feelings were prevalent in masses. The Hindi film industry stepped forward to promote these ideas. There were also some political grounds on the international level for making such a decision of emphasizing and promoting the socialist thought through the films. The world was in the grip of the Cold War. There were two prevailing political ideologies. On one side was the capitalist bloc with the USA and the other Western countries, and on the other side was the socialist bloc with the USSR, that is Soviet Union, and other Eastern European countries. The first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, was inclined towards socialism. He wanted to build the nation on the principles of socialism based on the model of the Soviet Union. He laid foundation of the new nation on socialist doctrine. The native intelligentsia, the intellectuals, were also deeply influenced by the socialist thought. Most of the film actors, directors, producers, and story writers were big believers of a society, rather the nation, based on the socialist principles. They wanted to create an egalitarian society, a society that does not recognize any social and economic hierarchies. Through their films, they wanted to focus on the social evils of economic disparities and evils of class and caste-based societies. They wanted to bring about the reforms to create a socialist nation. In the films, the wealthy people were depicted as evils and poor as hard-working heroes. The film Do Bigha Zameen by Bimal Roy, Naya Daur by B.R. Chopra, Mother India by Mehboob Khan are few big-name films that were produced with the aim of raising awareness for social reforms and future progress in mind. You can get this feeling even from these posters. This week's film Mother India by Mehboob Khan is a typical representative of the films with the idea of nationalism that portrays the nation-building effort. Here I would like to give you a spoiler alert. If you don't want to spoil the fun of watching the film, you can stop the video now and come back to it after you have already watched the film. The film Mother India is a story of a single mother with two children who had to face extreme adversity to simply live a dignified life. The village moneylender is depicted as the social evil who by trickery deprive the hard-working villagers their lawful and rightful share of their crops. The drama is added to the story as one of her own sons become a bandit who at the end of the film got killed by the mother. The Mother India kills her own son in an attempt to save the honor of one of the village girls and indirectly the honor of the community. As I mentioned earlier, the film Mother India is an iconic film that represents the trend of films that were made to promote nationalism and enthusiasm for nation building. The director Mehboob Khan has used many symbols to express the nationalistic feelings. He used vivid imagery to depict the nation-building process. I would like to take some of the symbols here and in detail discuss them and their relevance to the film. The film starts with a background song that has patriotic motive. Hail to the motherland, hail to Dharti Maa. The scene shows heavy machinery cultivating the farmland, neat, clean asphalted roads, electricity wires, power plants in rural India, a dam, a bridge being built. Let's watch it a bit and we will deconstruct these symbols later. All these images are symbolic representation of how India is striding forward towards the modernity, and she has made a firm decision to create her own destiny. The introduction to the film feels like a Soviet-type propaganda documentary in which they praise this scientific advancement that leads to nation's prosperity. The story of the film opens with the inauguration of a dam that would lead to irrigation of farmlands there and in neighboring villages, another symbol of future prosperity. At one place in the song, Dukh Bhare Din Beete Re Bhaiya, the villages are standing in the shape of the map of India after a highly successful harvest at the end of the farming season. All these symbols, all these images in the film insinuate the greatness of the land, the hard work of the people. They raise the patriotic feeling in the newly independent people of India. However, if you look into the storyline of the film closely, these symbols, these images have very little to do with the main story of the film. The story is about the struggle of poor villagers against the corrupt moneylender and his malpractice. Not so much about dams, roads, electricity, or technological advancements. Even the title of the film, Mother India, is a direct declaration of the motive of the filmmaker. What does the word India has to do with the story? Why is it there? The word India in the title seems superfluous, except the fact that director Mehboob Khan is making a statement, a nationalistic statement, patriotic statement. In my opinion, the story of the film can simply be detached from the nationalistic and nation-building symbols. It will still give a very good story, a very good film. The symbols were put into the film to reflect the enthusiasm for newly gained independence, but they are no way related to the story of the film. Please watch the film and also do your assigned readings. We will discuss the film when we meet. Have fun watching the film. Here at the end, I'm leaving you with my favorite song which belongs to the genre of folklore.
खटखट करती चमचुम करती गाड़ी हमारी जाए फर फर भागे सबसे आगे कोई पकड़ ना पाए
हो गाड़ी वाले गाड़ी धीरे हाँक रे गाड़ी वाले गाड़ी धीरे हाँक रे दिया उड़ा जाए लड़े आँख रे होए दिया उड़ा जाए लड़े आँख रे होए गाड़ी वाले गाड़ी धीरे हाँक रे
खटखट करती चमचुम करती गाड़ी हमारी जाए फर फर भागे सबसे आगे कोई पकड़ ना पाए
हो गाड़ी वाले गाड़ी धीरे हाँक रे दिल खाए हिचकोले गाड़ी ले चल हौले हौले गाड़ी ले चल हौले हौले गाड़ी ले चल हौले हौले हो पिंदिया मोरी गिर गिर जाए नथनी हाले डोले मोरी नथनी हाले डोले
ओ देख नजर ना लागे गोरी काहे मुखड़ा खोले देख नजर ना लागे रे गोरी काहे मुखड़ा खोले
ओ नैनो वाली घूंघट से ना झांक रे होए
गाड़ी वाले गाड़ी धीरे हाँक रे मोरी लाल चुनरिया उड़ गई रे मोरी गजरे की डिबिया गिर गई हवा में उड़ गई मोरी चुनरिया मिल गई तो से अखियां बलमा मिल गई तो से अखियां बलमा मिल गई तो से अखियां हो गोर बदन मोर थर थर कांपे धड़कन लागी छतियां रामा धड़कन लागी छतियां
ओ अलबेली बीच डगरिया ना कर ऐसी बतियां
ओ अलबेली बीच डगरिया ना कर ऐसी बतियां
ओ सुने सब लोग